There's been a lot of debate in the community on who the Mxes is, or what he's supposed to represent, and I think I may have the answer to that question. I really believe that the entity was created by Gregory and Vanessa. But before we get into the video, I just want to give a shout out to Bella for making me this awesome character design. If you'd like to commission art through her, please feel free to take a look at her artwork through her TikTok or Instagram. She responds pretty fast and has very reasonable prices. This isn't an ad or anything, I'm just very thankful how awesome of an artist she was. Okay, let's get back to the video. So, the Mxes, or we'll refer to him as the Entity, is the antagonist of the Five Nights at Freddy's Ruin DLC. If you have the Vanny mask on for too long, he ends up jump scaring you and sending one of the animatronics to finish the job. According to Helpy, the AI of the Vanny mask, we are told that the Entity is a bad guy, and we will need to deactivate every security node in order to stop him. And as we're going around disabling security nodes, we need to keep in mind that we need to remove the mask quite consistently, that way the Entity doesn't catch up to us, ending our playthrough. But he's not quite defenseless in that regard. The Entity has different satellite jammers that keep you from putting on the mask again, but those are pretty easy to disable. The security nodes are randomly placed throughout the Pizzaplex and don't really seem to have anything in common. If you notice, it seems like the security nodes were activated after the Pizzaplex went into ruin. Like, for example, this security node is actually programmed into this pizza box that has moldy pizza in it. It wouldn't make sense to have a security system like this when the building was up and running. There's no way that they keep that pizza box there for how many years it's been open. So we can definitely rule out that Fazbear Entertainment created this entity. And who am I kidding? They probably wouldn't even think that far. I can't see Fazbear Entertainment having a proper security system. Okay, let's go ahead and skip to the end of the game here. Just before breaking out the Mimic in the sealed room, we must disable the entity once and for all. Turns out that this entity is just a makeshift firewall, and you're able to disable him with the click of a button from the main computer. This room actually tells us a lot. When first entering this room, you can actually see a Glamrock Freddy backpack with Gregory's name on it. So it definitely seems like Gregory had a part to play in this entity's creation. To get a better understanding of where I'm going at here, we need to take a look at what the canon ending is. The canon ending of the game is the Princess Quest ending. As a quick recap, Gregory was able to stop Glitchtrap by disabling him through the Princess Arcade ending. Although Freddy is destroyed, Gregory does take his head with him, as Vanessa holds the door open for him, so that leaves the three of them free from Glitchtrap's control. So this is where I believe that Vanessa and Gregory came up with the idea to rework the Glitchtrap virus in order to help the other animatronics suffering the same fate as Vanny. They finally get to understand why Glitchtrap was hypnotizing Vanessa. Vanny's purpose was to rebuild and free the Mimic, therefore bringing William Afton back to life. While still being chased by the original converting animatronics, they now had to divert all of their attention in order to keep him sealed. So they created the Mxes firewall and spread the security nodes throughout the Pizzaplex, while trying to escape themselves. So in order to keep the Mimic properly sealed, they reprogrammed the Glitchtrap virus to be the protector of the Pizzaplex. And when we're talking about design, seems like they wanted to clear the tragedies of the bunny and replace it with like a makeshift guardian angel. So now, this bunny no longer represents evil, it now represents protecting. Which Cassie clearly didn't get the message there. It seems like they were pretty desperate to get out of there, because they did leave some of their belongings behind. Of course, we get the reworked Vanny mask. It's not the original mask, but it seems like it was recreated for another purpose. And of course, Gregory left his bag. Even though that the Mimic is sealed away in this room, I really do believe he was still able to control most of the Pizzaplex. Like this one room that we do see, where it has like all the storage and all their memories and everything, I believe that the Mimic was able to get a hold of that information. The Mimic was able to see that Cassie was a pretty lonely child through the memory banks of Roxy. He realized he could use that knowledge to manipulate her into thinking that an old friend needed her help. Shown from the Vanny reality, we can actually see cardboard cutouts of the Mimic like feeding guilt into her. When we do see these cardboard cutouts, we can see that Gregory is comforting Cassie. We also see one where Cassie's sitting alone crying, and of course, the last one we see is multiple missing posters of Gregory. Unfortunately, Gregory wasn't exactly the friend she thought he was. After freeing the Mimic, out of fear, Gregory does trap Cassie and leaves her to die there in the old Pizzaplex, along with the Mimic, of course. So I believe that Gregory and Vanessa knew how dangerous the Mimic was, and once it came time to make a decision whether or not to help Cassie leave, it just wasn't worth the risk. I don't believe that at the end that was the Mimic pretending to be Gregory again. I really do think that was Gregory, although that may be a very controversial opinion. And boom, there we go. That's my theory on who the entity was. And of course, I just want to remind you all that this is all in good fun and just a theory. If you have any opposing views or theories, feel free to share them in the comments below. Just make sure to stay respectful to others. Anyways, thank you all for watching. My name is Spooky Soup Boy, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.